Anna, quick question. No thinking.
Oh, no. That's usually how these start.
Do you actually talk to your AI app, or do you just read what it says?
That's a very specific question.
Answer it.
Fine. I mostly read it quietly, like it's a text message from someone I'm avoiding.
So the AI conversation partner in your phone has never actually heard your voice.
Not once.
Anna?
I know. That's the whole episode, isn't it?
That's the whole episode. Can we at least welcome everyone before you were exposed?
Fine.
Thank you.
Temporarily, Tom.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Rising Voice English, your cozy little place to learn easy English through real, everyday conversations. I'm Tom, your teacher for today.
And I'm Anna, your student. Still learning, still trying, still occasionally embarrassing myself.
And today, my student gets to publicly admit something very relatable.
Here we go.
That she's been using her AI app as a very expensive reading exercise.
It's going wonderfully already.
Today's lesson is one a lot of you ask me about constantly. How to actually learn English by talking with AI. Not just opening the app, not just typing, talking.
Out loud, with your actual mouth.
Radical, I know. Here's the strange thing. Millions of people have an AI app that can listen, respond, correct, and roleplay with them for free at any hour. And most of them use it like a search engine.
Type a question, read an answer, close the app. Feel vaguely educated.
And never once open their mouth. Today's English is around A2 to B1. So if you're a beginner or early intermediate, this lesson is built for you.
And if you're more advanced, stay anyway. Some of these habits apply no matter your level.
While we talk, listen for useful language around practice, confidence, and daily habits.
Later in Say It Better, we'll take a few stiff, nervous sentences people use with AI and make them sound more natural.
And in Word Tour, we'll come back to 6 words you'll hear naturally in today's conversation.
So by the time we get there, they won't feel like strangers.
Exactly. All right, Anna, let's start with your confession.
The reading thing.
The reading thing. So, Anna, be honest with me. Why do you think so many learners, including you apparently, avoid actually speaking to AI?
Because typing feels safe.
Safe how?
When I type, I can delete, I can fix a sentence before anyone sees it. Speaking just happens. It's already out there.
There's no delete button for your mouth.
Unfortunately not. I've tried.
So typing to AI feels like writing a letter. Speaking to AI feels like standing on a small stage.
A very judgmental stage.
Except nobody's actually judging you.
My brain didn't get that memo.
That's the real problem, though, isn't it? The AI doesn't care if you stumble. It has no opinions, no memory of yesterday's mistakes, no group chat where it complains about your grammar.
Unlike actual humans.
Unlike actual humans, yes.
So, if there's truly zero judgment, why does speaking still feel harder than typing?
Because the fear was never really about the AI.
Then what was it about?
It's a habit. Years of associating speaking English with being watched, corrected, or laughed at. That habit doesn't disappear just because the listener is a robot.
So even a judgment-free robot inherits our human fear.
Exactly, which means the fix isn't finding a safer AI.
It's retraining the habit.
Right. And speaking to AI badly, awkwardly, imperfectly, again and again is actually one of the fastest ways to do that retraining.
Because there's finally a space where mistakes cost nothing.
Nothing. No embarrassed coworker, no corrected in front of the class moment. Just you, your voice, and a very patient machine.
Okay, I have a confession too, Tom, since you started this.
Oh, excellent.
Why do you look pleased?
Because your confessions are always entertaining.
That's not very supportive.
I'm listening supportively.
Fine. The first time I tried speaking to an AI app, I planned my sentence for almost a full minute before pressing the microphone button.
A full minute?
A full minute. I wanted it to be perfect. Correct grammar, correct tense, correct everything.
And then?
I pressed the button, said one short sentence, and immediately felt like I'd run a marathon.
For one sentence?
For one very short, very average sentence.
That's the fear talking louder than the task.
Completely. The task took 4 seconds. The fear took a full minute of preparation beforehand.
So, what changed?
I stopped planning. I just pressed the button and said whatever came out, even if it was wrong.
And the world didn't end.
The world did not end. The AI just responded, like it was a normal thing to say, because to a machine with no feelings, it was.
Okay, listeners, this one's for you. Think about the last time you avoided speaking, even to an app, because you wanted the sentence to be perfect first.
You don't have to say anything yet. Just notice the moment.
And ask yourself honestly, did that perfect sentence ever actually get spoken?
Or is it still sitting there, polished and silent?
That question hurts a little.
It's supposed to.
All right, let's get practical, Anna. If someone's listening right now, has an AI app already downloaded, and has genuinely never spoken to it out loud, what's the first thing they should do?
Lower the bar until it's almost insulting.
Meaning?
Don't aim for a full conversation. Aim for one sentence. Hello, how are you? That's it. That's the whole goal for day one.
That feels too easy.
It's supposed to feel too easy. If the first step feels hard, most people simply won't take it.
So the goal isn't a good sentence.
The goal is a spoken sentence. Any sentence. The quality comes later.
What's the second step?
Ask the AI to correct you every single time, even for something small.
Even if you're not sure it's wrong?
Especially then. Say, was that sentence correct? Or can you fix any mistakes? You're not just practicing speaking, you're building a habit of checking.
Without a teacher standing over your shoulder.
Right. The AI becomes a very calm, very available teacher who never sighs when you ask the same question twice.
Unlike some co-hosts.
I plead the fifth.
What's the third step?
Give it a job. Don't just chat randomly. Say, pretend you're a waiter, or ask me interview questions, or correct my pronunciation of this word.
Roleplay.
Roleplay. Because vague conversation drifts nowhere, but a small scene gives your speaking a shape.
A waiter, a doctor, a stranger asking for directions.
Any of them. The AI will happily become whoever you need it to be.
That's slightly unsettling when you say it like that.
Slightly, yes.
Okay, here's something I think trips people up. What happens after the AI corrects you? Do most learners actually learn from that correction or just move past it?
Mostly they just move past it. That was my mistake for a long time.
Explain?
I'd get a correction, nod at my screen like it could see me, and immediately continue the conversation, never asking why the correction happened.
So the correction fixed one sentence.
But it taught me nothing for the next one.
That's the difference between correcting and understanding.
Exactly. Now I always follow a correction with one more question. Why is that wrong? Or can you explain that simply?
That single extra question changes everything.
It turns a fixed mistake into an actual lesson.
I like that distinction a lot.
Me too. I stole it from watching my own bad habits.
Efficient?
Thank you.
Let's talk about consistency, Anna, because I think that's where most people quietly give up.
Go on.
Someone gets excited, talks to AI for 40 minutes on day one, feels amazing, and then doesn't open the app again for 2 weeks.
The classic burst and vanish.
Exactly. What's a better approach?
10 minutes daily. Over 40 minutes once.
That sounds almost too small to matter.
It sounds small because we're trained to think effort should feel big to count. But daily small practice rewires a habit. Occasional big practice just creates a memory.
A memory you feel good about for exactly one afternoon.
Precisely. And then guilt because you haven't opened the app since.
So 10 minutes a day beats one heroic Sunday session.
Every single time.
What does someone actually do in those 10 minutes?
Pick one topic. Weekend plans, food, a hobby, anything real. Talk about it out loud for a few minutes, ask for corrections, ask one follow-up question, done.
Small, repeatable, boring almost.
Boring is good here. Boring means sustainable.
I want to push on something. What about people who feel like they're too advanced for this or too embarrassed that a grown adult is talking to a phone?
The dignity problem.
The dignity problem.
Here's the thing. Nobody has ever become fluent by protecting their dignity.
That's blunt.
It's true, though. Every fluent speaker you admire went through an awkward, imperfect, occasionally embarrassing phase of practice. AI just makes that phase private.
Private practice for a very public skill.
Exactly. You're rehearsing before the real performance, not skipping the rehearsal because it feels silly.
Nobody watches you rehearse.
Nobody except your very patient, very forgetful AI, which won't even remember it by tomorrow.
That's actually comforting.
It should be.
All right, one more question before we move into Say It Better. If someone only takes away one thing from this whole lesson, what should it be?
Speaking to AI only works if you actually speak.
Painfully simple.
The best advice usually is.
All right, let's move into Say It Better. A few stiff, overly careful sentences people use with AI, and how to loosen them up.
Ready? Let's do it.
First one. I want to practice my English with you.
Perfectly fine, but a little formal for every single time.
Try instead, let's practice English together.
Whatmer feels like an invitation, not an announcement.
Exactly. Next.
Reading, please tell me if I am wrong.
Try, please correct my mistakes.
Shorter, more direct, and it's a phrase you'll actually remember under pressure.
Next. I do not understand your explanation.
That can sound almost like a complaint.
Try, can you explain that more simply?
Softer, and it invites help instead of sounding like a criticism.
Next. I am not good at speaking English.
Careful with that one. It can turn into a label you repeat so often you start believing it permanently.
Try, I'm still improving my speaking.
Still improving shows movement. Not good sounds like a locked door.
And our last one, can we talk about something?
Vague. The AI has no idea where to start.
Try, let's role play a job interview, or let's talk about my weekend.
Specific. Gives the conversation somewhere to go immediately.
I like ending on something practical like that.
Me too.
All right, shall we head into word tour?
Let's go.
Our first word is fluent. Fluent. If you're fluent in a language, you can speak and understand it easily and naturally.
She's not fully fluent yet, but she's getting close. Talking daily with AI helped him become more fluent.
Remember, fluent doesn't mean perfect. It means comfortable. Next is role play. Role play. To role play means to act out a situation, often pretending to be someone else, for practice.
Let's roleplay a conversation at the airport. We roleplayed a job interview yesterday.
Common phrase, role play a scenario, or role play a situation. Our next word is correction. Correction. A correction is a change that fixes a mistake.
The AI gave me a helpful correction after that sentence. I always ask for a correction if I'm unsure.
You can ask for a correction or accept a correction. Next, consistency. Consistency. Consistency means doing something regularly, in the same way, over time.
Consistency matters more than one long practice session. Her consistency with daily speaking really paid off.
Common phrase, build consistency, or stay consistent. Our next word is habit. Habit. A habit is something you do regularly, often without thinking much about it.
Talking with AI daily became a comfortable habit. It takes time to build a new habit.
You can build a habit, break a habit, or form a habit. And our final word is confidence. Confidence. Confidence means believing in your own ability to do something well.
Daily practice really builds your confidence. His confidence grew after weeks of speaking practice.
You can gain confidence, lose confidence, or speak with confidence. So today we had fluent, role play, correction, consistency, habit, and confidence.
6 very useful words for talking about learning, practice, and progress.
And hopefully they don't feel completely new anymore. Anna, what surprised you most about today's lesson?
Honestly, hearing you tease me about the reading thing.
We are not revisiting the reading thing.
We absolutely are. Briefly, it's very on brand for this episode.
Fine. What surprised me is how small the actual first step is. One sentence. That's genuinely all it takes to start.
Hello, how are you? Being the whole plan for day 1.
That's the whole plan. No pressure, no perfect grammar required.
I think that's the part people need to hear most.
Same. Listeners, before you go, here's your task. Tonight, open an AI app and press the microphone button. Say one sentence. Any sentence.
Ask it to correct you if you want, or don't. Just speak.
Small steps daily lead to real, lasting fluency.
And maybe, just maybe, don't spend a full minute planning it first.
That was oddly specific, Anna.
I learn from the best.
Thanks for spending this time with us.
Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep pressing that microphone button.
We'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.